Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You. Our Region's Business, improving our economy, creating jobs, and strengthening communities. Innovation, collaboration, transformation, and the people making it happen. Join us as we take a closer look at our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, the budget debate is underway in Pennsylvania, and we'll find out how it might impact the economy here in our region. Plus, a merger of nonprofits that's making it possible for more kids to experience sports and arts events in our region and across the country. But first, changing of the guard at PNC Bank Pittsburgh as longtime President Cy Holzer moves to a new role as special advisor to the chairman, capping 45 years of service at PNC. And Louis Cestello has added the top job of the regional bank to his responsibilities as head of PNC Regional Markets. Bank's, of course, part of the PNC Financial Services Group, which sponsors this program. Good to have you. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Yeah, it's a new job or a new responsibility, but you've been with PNC a long time. You're actually native of our region, right?
I am. I grew up in Mount Lebanon, went to W&J, and then on to Duquesne for my MBA, and lived in Pittsburgh most of my life. Had a stint in Baltimore with PNC after we purchased the bank in the mid-2000s and moved back a few years ago, and it's good to be home.
So you've had a role really working with all the regional banks in the PNC footprint, right?
I do. I currently do as well. I've been blessed and had the opportunity. I manage all of the PNC's regional markets. So there's 35 regional presidents across the country delivering PNC in a Main Street fashion, to our constituents and all of our communities and clients. And all of those folks work with me, and blessed to be able to have a vision of what's going on everywhere.
Well, it's got to be fascinating because some markets you're as well established and well known as here in Pittsburgh. PNC's been moving into new places all over the country. It's got to be a creative challenge as well as a business challenge to make all that work.
Yeah, it's thank goodness for technology and and for good air travel. But yeah, we've are new in a number of markets. This past year we've opened up in 3 new markets, trying to get the PNC brand and name out there, hiring good quality people to take care of the client base and be active in the communities. And then we're here in Pittsburgh and Philly and Cleveland and places we've been for 100+ years, and taking care of the communities there, and less of a branding initiative and more of a client service initiative.
Yeah, PNC, a major presence here in Pittsburgh, obviously home base. So you've got a lot of people here supporting this whole enterprise, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. We have 12,000 people in Pittsburgh. When I left in 2007, I think the number was closer to 5,000, and with a couple of acquisitions and how we've grown in Pittsburgh, we have 12,000 employees here, fully active in not just the bank, but fully active in their communities and giving back and volunteering. It's a fantastic place to be as a PNC employee. Yeah,
you got a good feel of the whole country. How do you feel our region's doing relative to other places right now? You excited about where we are?
Yeah, I'm thrilled about where Pittsburgh is. It's a different town than it was when I left in 2007. You come back and the downtown is vibrant. You take a look at the East End and what's happening out there. The things that have occurred out of CMU and out of Pitt has been nothing short of phenomenal. It's a town that is, as I say, on fire. You look at real estate, you look at jobs, you look at the growth that we're on the precipice of. We feel great about being in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know PNC's grown so much, you mentioned over that, so even that 10-year period, but certainly as you go back farther. Has it changed the nature of the bank and the nature of banking as a result of all the growth you've experienced?
Yeah, it really has not changed us. We're bigger, but this Main Street strategy we have and how we're delivering in each of our different markets with local teams, local deliveries, and Bill's Main Street philosophy, we're kind of a boring bank, and we love it, right? We take deposits, we help people invest for the future, whether it be for education, for retirement, whatever it may be. And companies with growth and working capital, we take deposits, we loan money, and we take care of our clients. So we haven't changed much in what we're doing. Certainly a lot of change in terms of technology and how we're delivering, but the basic fundamental Main Street banking philosophy at PNC hasn't changed since I started in 1990.
Is that one of the ideas behind having all these regional banks and all these regional presidents? You've got somebody on the ground everywhere who's kind of close to that community?
Yeah, I think you really need to live in the community, understand the community, their needs, their desires, the nuances that they may have in terms of what the economy is, what kind of jobs there are. So we have people living and breathing in these communities like we do in Pittsburgh, understanding what's important and how the community is going to accept the bank and what we need to do in order to really satisfy all of our constituents, right? We talk about it constantly. We talk about our shareholders. We talk about our employees. We talk about our clients and our communities. And you need to have a vibrant community in order to have a vibrant bank. We're fully committed to that here in Pittsburgh, especially with the headquarters market. We have to have a place where people want to reside, want to live, want to come. We need to be a great attractive place for people to move to. And it's really, really at the core of who we are.
Yeah, I'll ask you about that because you talked about the growth, and I think everybody understands that the bank has grown its presence in Pittsburgh in recent years. The sheer scale of that's pretty remarkable. What about attracting talent? Is it easier these days to get people to come to Pittsburgh? Is there still a little bit of a hurdle to overcome there?
Yeah, it's interesting. When I moved away, people viewed Pittsburgh as still a smoky industrial place. I think with all the press we've received over the past couple of years as being a livable city, you look at what's going on with driverless Ubers and technology, the word's out on Pittsburgh. The restaurant scene has been nationally publicized. It's not as difficult to get people to come here now in order to interview, and then once they get there, they're hooked, right? They love it. You take a look at the convenience. We talked earlier about how easy it is to travel in this town. You can live close, you can have a great work-life balance, but you have all the amenities of a big town. And I think the whole country understands it now.
It's been a big change, but you're looking for people in a very specialized industry, financial services, to support a national and globally competitive market. Getting that talent too is you can do that here?
Yeah, we've done a great job with it. You take a look at the executive team that Bill's put in place and the people that are running our businesses. We have homegrown a lot. We've attracted a lot from the outside, and people seem to really enjoy living here in this city.
I got to ask you finally about Cy Holzer, who's been a force here in Pittsburgh for, I guess, what, 45 years since he joined the bank. So he still has a role in the bank, but those are big shoes you've got to fill now in this community.
Yeah, they certainly are big. It's intimidating. I've been blessed. I've been mentored by Cy. Mentored by Jim and others over the years, and you take a look at his commitment to Pittsburgh, his commitment to our client base. He is a client advocate. The employees love him. They're big shoes to fill, but I really feel like he's trained me well, and I have a good pyramid on which to stand and just make sure that I continue to do what I've learned and execute well for the bank. We'll be fine.
Well, it's exciting. Good luck with the new job or the expanded responsibilities, I guess. Louis Cestello from PNC.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks so much.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. And next up, let the battle begin over Pennsylvania's budget. We'll find out how Governor Tom Wolf's proposal may affect our region in a minute. Stay tuned.